All right, so the three wind belts here, the trade winds, the prevailing westerlies, the polar easterlies, we said that's going to cause the wind to move from east to west, from west to east, and then from east to west. And that's what's going to create what's called a gyre. A gyre is these circular areas of ocean current. And we see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 5 gyres across our planet. You've got 2 in the Atlantic, 2 in the Pacific, and then you've got 1 right here in the Indian Ocean. And notice that in the northern hemisphere, these 2, they turn clockwise because of the way that these winds blow. In the southern hemisphere, it's the mirror image. And so we see that these gyres turn counterclockwise, okay? And this movement of the wind, this bending of the wind, this clockwise and counterclockwise movement of the gyres is caused by the Coriolis effect. And that's the effect of the rotation of our planet causing things to bend as it moves from the equator out to the poles. Okay, so the last piece here, we want to look at what happens to these currents during an El Nino year. Notice that with these currents, you've got the trade winds that blow from east to west. And these trade winds keep the warm water at the equator moving from the east to the west. So you can see here that the bulk of the warm water is moving away from our west coast here of North America and South America. And what that causes is you see this cold water coming up. When that warm water is pulled away from the coast and this warm water comes in, this cold water comes in, it pulls the cold water up from the bottom. Because as you remove the surface water, the cold water comes in and fills in that gap, and that's called an upwelling. And it brings lots of nutrients up here to the coast. And so we get lots of fish here in this cold, nutrient-rich water. Well, in an El Nino year, the trade winds are weak. And so the trade winds do not push this warm water away from the coast. And they allow more warm water to flow back towards the coast, disrupting this upwelling. And that changes the temperature along the coast. And so an El Nino year is going to bring unusual seasons of drought and flooding in places that don't normally get it.